Hi everyone, I'm Sunflower Bear and welcome back to my channel. Today we're playing some more Echoes of the Plum Grove the cozy way. I've been absolutely loving this game and so much has happened since the last episode. I'm so excited to share it with you guys, so let's get started. So we are now nearing the end of our first ever spring as there are only 21 days in each season in this game. I'm so excited to see what the other seasons look like and what they may bring. Now at this point I'm quite overflowing with quests, so my main priority is to try and smash out as many as I can, cause your girl was feeling slightly overwhelmed. So I got started straight away on fishing for some quests, as most of them were asking for fish of some kind for some reason. Then I saw my lovely Rose walking by and gifted her some dried fish, which she loved. She also conveniently had the rest of the oysters I needed to finish one of my quests. How good! Then it was back to fishing to get the rest of the fish I needed for another quest. And voila, I handed them in to Bridget and that was one quest complete. I then went back to fishing again for even more fish and boom, another quest done. Look at me go. On my way home, I committed my usual cherry theft, collected some wood, and then I decided to pay a visit to Astra. And oh my gosh, how beautiful is her home? Can we swap? I want to live here. Anyway, I looked at her trades and she had a death cake? That sounds interesting. Then I went downstairs and thought, I wonder what's in this glowing room. I haven't been in here yet. And it triggered a cutscene. Astra gave me a little tutorial on how to brew potions, which was so handy, and even gave me one of my own, a fleeting potion. I'll definitely try this out tomorrow. Before leaving, I figured I may as well check on the ghosts, so I headed down and also checked my progress on the pillars. I think getting these gold star crops could be one of my next goals. It shouldn't be too tricky, considering all the crops I've been getting. I made my way home and I don't even remember when I got this cute little bow, but I found it in my chest, so I had to put it on. And apparently fashion is exhausting as I was knackered, so it was straight to bed. And it was finally the last day of spring. Don't know why I'm watering all of my crops here as they're going to wilt tomorrow as they won't be in season anymore, but I learnt the hard way. I then remembered I had the fleeting potion Astra gave me, so I thought I'd try it out, and oh my gosh, look how fast I can go now. How will I ever go back to normal speed? I raced into town realizing it was market day, and Daniel gifted me a stone pickaxe I didn't really need, but I guess it's the thought that counts. He was also selling a steel scythe, which I can't quite afford yet. I think I'll focus on getting the steel pickaxe first so I can break that big rock in the mines. Then Luna also gifted me with some forageables and another stone pickaxe. Once again, it's the thought that counts, I guess. I also accepted another lost toy quest as these are so easy to complete. As I couldn't buy anything from the market, I just headed straight to the graveyard to grab the lost toy and handed it in straight away for a few coins. The rest of the day was pretty boring. I just gathered more wood from all the trees, went to the mines to hit some rocks, bumped into Jack to sell some wood because I'm still broke, headed home to cook some more meals, crafted the charcoal kiln for Rose's quest, and went to bed. The next morning it was officially the first day of summer, which is when I realized the time I had wasted on watering all of my dead crops. But that's okay, I cleaned up the mess and eagerly headed out. Look how green and vibrant everything is. And hey, new forageables. I went to visit Rose and handed in her quest, and then stopped by to say hi to Quentin, who I noticed is selling adoption papers. Very good to know. I heard from a little birdie that you can get free lavender from the lighthouse in summer, so of course I had to go steal some. From cherry theft to lavender theft it is. New season, new me. After that I went to see Jacob and bought a bunch of new summer seeds. I was so excited to start getting some new crops. So I planted my seeds, including some new berry bushes and coffee trees, which will surely come in handy when I learn the coffee recipe. After watering all of my crops, it was pretty late, so I just went straight to sleep. In the morning, I checked my mail and Rose had another super easy quest for me to get some new recipes. I just love her. Daniel also gifted me a stone scythe, which this time I actually appreciate because it's better than my wooden one. I got to watering my crops and then I had a sudden moment of realization. My friendship was full with Rose, so what am I waiting for? I think it's time to ask her on a date. So in this game, you need to gift your love interest a flower bouquet to ask them on a date. So, without hesitation, I headed to see Luna and bought myself a lovely flower bouquet. I fast traveled to town and what do you know, Rose is right here. It's meant to be. So, moment of truth. I gifted her the bouquet and she wants me to get a higher friendship with Tom O'Dell. Dang it! But anything for my love, so I went straight to the clothing store and spoke to Tom. I also tried to gift him a forageable, but he wasn't very impressed. Actually, I think I actually made him mad. Great start. But it's fine. I then went to see Daniel to hand in another quest and paid a visit to the ghost where one actually had a quest where he wanted stone for a requesting rain blueprint. This one was so good because I already had the stone on me, so I completed it instantly. How lucky is that? I stopped by the farming pillar and managed to hand in a good amount of gold star crops. So much in fact that I completed that task. I'm on a roll. After I headed home, you'll be very proud of me as I finally crafted another chest to try and sort my stuff as best I can. That night, I leveled up in foraging and got to choose between more collectibles spawning or more ore in the mines. I went with more ore as I felt like it was way more useful for crafting and whatnot. On the 3rd, we got our first ever funeral invite. Henry Jones had passed away. So sad. I also had a quest from Daniel which would reward me with a smelter blueprint. This was a game changer as it means I'll be able to make my own bars rather than buying them. After caring for my crops, I realized I can actually label my chests, which is super helpful. Although I do hope in future maybe we can color coordinate them so it's easier to tell what's what without opening them. I then got straight to crafting that preservative jar for Daniel, stopped by to hand in a quest to Alice, chatted to Tom some more to grow our friendship, and handed in the quest to Daniel to get my smelter blueprint. He was also selling a steel watering can, but once again, I'm waiting for the pickaxe. I finished off the day with some fishing, and then on my walk home, I noticed fireflies everywhere. How pretty is that? Inside, I browsed at what I needed to make the smelter. I pretty much have everything but the bricks, so I'll just need to buy those from the carpenters. On the 4th, I got my first ever tomatoes. Woo! I then made another trip to the lighthouse to commit more lavender theft, and then something amazing happened. In town, I ran into Rose, so I went to talk to her and the date option popped up. I guess I had reached max friendship with Tom already. I clicked on the date option so fast and we had it arranged for tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the lighthouse. I'm so excited! It even said it on the calendar. How cute is that? I then did some more foraging before heading to the graveyard for our first ever funeral, which I clearly didn't get the dress code for. Oops. As I was standing there, I felt like I looked a bit too happy, so I changed my expression, much more appropriate. But speaking of appropriate, why is Bridget smirking like that? And Astra? I'm so concerned. As everyone left, Bridget even just stood there smirking at the grave. There is definitely something suspicious going on here. I'm keeping my eye on you, Bridget. After that very concerning event, I got some more wood, went to the mines, and went to sleep. The next morning, as I watered my crops, I was so excited as it's the day of my date. And then, in my giddy little mood, I decided I was going to take the plunge and propose to Rose at our date. So I raced to the blacksmith's, sold tons of wood for money, and bought a lovely gold engagement ring. I hope she accepts this. To kill time, I stopped by the carpenters to buy some more bricks for my smelter and then got to our little date a bit early. But I guess Rose was excited too as she arrived not long after. How romantic is this? And then finally it was time. The big question. I proposed and she said yes! We're getting married. That night after I went to sleep, an alert popped up saying it was my wedding today. Oh my gosh. I even get to choose whether we both move into her house or mine. But of course I'm going to choose mine because who's going to look after the farm? I was so stressed about missing my wedding, so I quickly went to town to check the time on the quest board. But it wasn't until 12 p.m, so I had tons of time to kill. I just fished a little and then headed inside a bit early. You could say I was a bit excited. And then it began. You even get to choose whether you wear a suit or a dress, which I thought was adorable. I chose the dress and our ceremony started. Dearly beloved and honoured guests, we are gathered together to witness the union of Sunflower and Rose. Sunflower, do you take Rose as your bride? Rose, do you take Sunflower as your bride? It is my pleasure to pronounce you married. How cute. We are officially a wife now. I then headed back to my farm to tend my crops before heading to bed for my first night of sleep as a married woman. The next day I got my first corn and some more tomatoes. Lovely. And then I went down to the market day and decided as a little post-wedding treat I was going to buy Rose and I a new pet. I chose this cute little black kitty. I also bought a goose for our coop. As I walked past the mayor's mansion, I noticed some roses on the bushes. Knowing my track record of theft, of course I trespassed and stole some. It would be rude of me not to. Then I went to the mines for some ore, bought the last of the bricks I needed for my smelter, went home, crafted my smelter, and placed it temporarily behind my house as it was a bit of an eyesore. I popped in some iron and begun my own smelting production. Woo! I also wanted to check on my goose and look at him sleeping. I gave him a little pet and put some feed in his trough before the day ended. Before going inside, I checked my mail and oh my gosh, Luna has passed. This was actually sad because she was the first person I met here. In the morning, I harvested my first melons and cotton before deciding I would actually like a chicken friend for my goose. So I bought one from Matthew. The rest of the day was pretty boring. I just collected wood, mined, and headed home. Back at home, I actually realized I could collect money from my wife that she earns throughout the day. Not sure that's fair, but I'll take it. The next day we had Luna's funeral. So sad. I'm glad to see no one smirking this time. Thankfully, Bridget was nowhere to be seen. On the way home, I fished and then something even more exciting happened. That night, Rose asked if we should have a baby. Things are moving so fast. I'm so excited. But unfortunately, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me play some more Echoes of the Plum Grove the Cozy Way. I'll see you in my next one, loves. Bye!